Hello everyone, it's DuckFeren07. Today we are playing Flash Tribal. This is a deck based around these two cards, Errant and Giada and Slitherwisp. They all synergize very well with the cards that have Flash, and we know that some of the best cards in Modern have Flash. So we have Solitude, we have Leyline Binding, this has Flash, we have Orcish Bowmasters, one of the best cards currently also in the Modern that also has Flash. There is a Dress Down. Also, Slitherwisp and Errant and Giada themselves have the Flash. And of course, there is a third elemental with Flash Subtlety there, and Ertai Resurrected. Ertai Resurrected in this deck is like really good, a lot better than in any other deck. So what do we have here that Ertai does here? So first of all, he has Flash, so he synergizes with Errant and Slitherwisp. Second, you can pitch cast Solitude or Subtlety and cast Ertai and just counter your evoke ability, and so this way you scam the elemental in. You need 4 mana to do this though, so but you scam the elemental, you get the exile effect from the Solitude, but Solitude stays in play, and you also get to draw a card that is pretty sweet. And another use for Ertai in this deck is Orcish Bowmasters. If you have Orcish Bowmasters on the field, or even 2 of them, you can counter your opponent's spell or kill their creature and make them draw a card and do a damage with Orcish Bowmasters. So that is some sweet synergies with Ertai. That is why I included it. So other than that, we have Beanstalk, of course, now in this deck. So let me just do this. Scion of Draco hidden over there. Okay, so we got Scion of Draco there, and the beans. This is the brew that was previously on my channel, and Beanstalk made me include Scion to have more of these spells that trigger beans. And Scion has been game changer for this deck. It gives hexproof to both Errant and Giada and Slitherwisp. It acts as a pseudo lord in this list, so it gives all of these guys hexproof. Ertai, Subtlety, Slitherwisp, Errant and Giada even gives a lifelink to Ertai, Slitherwisp, Orcish Bowmasters, which can be great in the aggro matchups. Okay, so the Scion has been a huge upgrade. I really like it, and it feels like the deck is on another level right now with the Scion and the Beans. Also, Errant and Giada says that you can play creatures with flying from the top of your library, and that includes the Scion. So I'm pretty happy how well did a Scion fit in this list, and that's it. We have more creatures with flash. There is Cutter Commando, Rest in Peace, Graveyard Hate, Forces, Death Fairies, Hidetsugus, more subtleties. Go to the gameplay. I just finished my deck. I think go to the league and see how it went. Starting second, install Ephemerate, Errant and Giada. So I go for the Savai here and play the Breeding Pool and decide to start with Scion, but opponent has a Shielded Edict, and that is one of the few spells Mono Black has that can deal with Scion. So opponent goes for the Orcish Bowmasters at the end, my end step, Giada in response, and I see the Solitude on top of my deck for my upkeep if possible to cast this Solitude. So I do this. I cast it from the top, Ephemerate of course, and kill both Bowmasters and the token. Then I draw a fetch from the turn and I see Bowmasters on top, but I decide to go for the Beanstalk anyway and just put the Bowmaster in my hand. I did it. Masters, Rebound, Ephemerate, try to make more tokens, but opponent has removal. So it was not a great situation for me at the moment. Beanstalk on the field, opponent drawing a lot of my Errant, and opponent discards Scion, which was my like fuel, my hope to get something. Opponent casts the Shielded and the Bowmasters on their turn, making it very hard for me. And yeah, that is it. I just wasn't able to get out of this anymore. Opponent had too much stuff, and I conceded the match. That's it. Okay, let's check game 2. Okay, so in the game 2, have 2 lands to get my domain. Again, decent Draco. On the next, as I said, with giving hexproof to Errant can be really powerful against this type of decks that removal. Unfortunately, I don't draw a third land, but I still have Bowmasters. Opponent goes for Field of Ruin, which gives me third mana to play my Giada. So now Giada has hexproof. Is trying to kill it. They can't. I'm pretty happy with this situation. So I have 6 damage right now. Giada has hexproof. So when they can kill the Giada, they go for Scion, of course. Then go for the Totsis. I response. I have Force of Negation on top of my library. I can shuffle at any point if I want. So yeah, opponent making me shuffle right now. And I went for the breeding pool there because I wanted to play this bean. I play my land, and yeah, I'm pretty up and threw me with the Field of Ruins. And yeah, opponent unfortunately casts the Damnation, clearing my entire board and a bunch of these Field of Ruins. But it was okay. I had cast in my deck. So yeah, I passed the turn, expecting them to go for continue destroying my lands. So I plan to play this and then hold the Subtlety for the next turn. They go for Breeding Pool 2. I don't have any more lands to find. Polluted Delta, which means my fetch is my fetch is there. Like I'm getting the land after this. So I go for another blue source, which Subtlety next turn, and then hardcast my Solitude end of turn, so I can start attacking. Opponent is currently on 11 life, which is like pretty. Also get to draw a card, of course. Yeah, so attacking with Solitude now. Definitely some options. I don't have much land left in my library. Opponent will kill a Godless Shrine and so on. Okay, so as my mana base was play video, then it was what I showed in the beginning. I think that is the perfected tweak. And here I cast Slitherwisp seed so we can watch the game 3. Base I showed video is tweaked mana base that I think it is for on a few mana bases today for a couple of decks, and I think I was pretty happy how they played out. And this is yeah, okay. So I go turn 1 Spell Pierce also in this initial force, 2 Spell Pierce instead of 2 Force. But now I switched to 4 Force of Negations on the side. And I had 4 Ephemerates in this starting variant, and I switched to 2 Ephemerates to March for my finalist. Okay, so opponent goes for the ring to play the binding, but to wait. some options here. I was thinking about playing or not playing the ring right now. Obviously waiting for me to do the first move. I decided to wait, not do anything, and yeah, so I go for I just pass the turn here, hoping to go Errant and Giada and then binding the ring. Opponent still not think. They didn't trying to get that maximum value, trying to draw a card. Okay, so I go for the side triumph here. Anything out of line, so I was just binding there anyway and cast Errant and Giada too. So yeah, I didn't lose. So I was still in a good situation. Didn't lose anything. Cast the binding, all get the Giada on there. Why is this gameplay so slow? I'm not sure, but because Giada, I find the Bowmasters from the top. These and for mana, I have Ertai here. Options. They go for side to just play the Bowmaster in response and get a huge army token to start attacking my opponent. They also go for the Totsis, which puts them down to 13 very quickly. I can get the Cutter Commando here and swing here, so this means 7 damage. That is a lot, and I'm also holding the. So I attack Karn, and I can't make them draw a card, pinging them, putting another counter on my orc, which much closer to the lethal next turn. Opponent then kills my Cutter Commando, so I can't kill the Ensnaring Bridge. So my creatures now can't attack. But I have 2 Bowmasters, and they play another nice Whisper. I go for Orcish Bowmasters in response, which makes a lot of damage to putting my opponent on 3 life, and I still have Ertai in my hand. I can force them to draw 2 more cards, putting 7 for the Ertai, making them draw 2 more damage with the Bowmasters, putting my opponent on 1 life, and I can attack with my, which also makes their Ensnaring Bridge useless, because now I can attack with Ertai and both Masters, so that was it. First match, pretty game. Yeah. Okay, so keeping only 2 I Bowmasters in my hand. I have Subtlety that I can pitch if needed, so I think yeah, this was a decent start. Opponent goes for the Fury Scam on turn 1. I have Subtlety to delay this for a turn. It stops being that scary. Okay, so I draw a land and play the Beanstalk, get the Solitude, which is perfect solution for them Scam Grief, but I have to find another white card, definitely. So 2 Bowmasters in my hand, so I can just chump Fury. Opponent on 2 cards, chumping the Fury. That's all I need until I get a white card to pitch cast Solitude or even just hard cast it. That would be even better. Okay, so I didn't get the white card. I got the land, which means I get to jump for another turn with the Bowmasters, jumping the Fury, and next turn hard casting. I have option here to grab another basic to make me safe from the blood. So I'm just jumping here and getting Zago Triumphs. They didn't play. They didn't play a move. I'm holding my Solitude. Opponent goes for to resolve their ability, then go for the Solid Fury, and yeah, now the situation is very good for me. Okay, they top deck the Grief and unfortunately get rid of the Leyline Binding from my hand. But I got the Scion from the top, drawing me Errant and Giada, and Errant and Giada is very powerful in situations like this. When I have the Scion on the Beanstalk field, it has, so they can't really get rid of it, and now I get out of Scion from the Beans. I can play the Dress Down from the top, so I decide just with my another Errant and Giada, putting my opponent in a miserable situation. I can cast Dress Down from the top in case they try anything like Few. I have the Dress Down to make sure I win next turn, and that is the game. Okay, so opponent concedes. Let's check out the other one. How I sideboarded for the scam matchup. As I said, my deck was slightly different. In this matchup, I had 4 Ephemerates, and now I have 2 Ephemerates, 2 March, and I had Spell Pierces on the side. Now I have 4 Force of Negation, but you get the point. I decided to remove Ertais here and all of the Ephemerates, put some Fairies in, put 2 more Subtleties in, and that are the most relevant cards. The Fairy preventing them from scamming, bouncing their scammed creatures. It can be pretty good. And yeah, of course, I had to risk here, opponent having another Undying spell. So I could block with the Bowmasters, but they have another Undying spell, which means they take another card from my hand, and that is just kind of too much value for them. And they also had a removal for my Scion, unfortunately, so I wasn't able to race. But I got the Binding to get rid of Grief. My opponent, Shaman on the field, Fable flipping next turn. I cast the Dress Down, getting a treasure token. But they have another Fable, which is like very, very good right now. I can't really deal with both Fables flipping soon. And yeah, had me this game. I did like recover here, and opponent a little on the next turn. That was the game. Okay, so let's check out the game tree. Okay, so playing first here, I have Subtlety for their turn 1 scam. I have the Leyline Binding. Doesn't get much better than this. So opponent goes for the Fury scam, which is perfect. I don't even use the Subtlety. I don't care about this Fury. I just bind 2. Subtlety, and then try to do it again on binding it. That would be kind of funny, but I didn't want to. I was pretty happy with this. Multiple options here. Find another land to add more, like to get that big. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to find the third land, and luckily my opponent. So I went for still trying for getting the draws from the beanstalk, removing the doughty, but still no land. I would feel much just got that land. Now I the draw. So now I played the Scion. They have the Bowmasters in response to do another Bowmasters army token. And yes, still no lands for me, but it doesn't get much better than this. I just need completely control of this match. I start attacking with Scion. I have the Bowmasters with lifelink. Pink. They had second Bowmasters, but I go for another Subtlety, and that enabled me like to ping Bowmaster gain life and get one more attacker for the next turn. I even got that second land I wanted to bounce their Orcish for 6 damage, gain 2 life, and yeah, at the fairy on the field, deal with it. So that is the match. Okay, so that was match 2, match 3. Okay, so yeah, I have 2 lands, but it is a bit of dilemma. What's a land? I can get a white land, or I can get a green land to cast the beanstalk. So it's either casting beanstalk or ephemerate, but I decide to go for a Zagotrium to be able to cast the beanstalk, and then like going for solitude even without ephemerate is good because you still get to draw a card from the beanstalk. So that in here, okay. I did find a godless shrine, so that was even better. Okay, opponent Omnat. I had a subtlety here for Omnat, but I decided to resolve it. It's turn 3 for the opponent, so they can't really play or anything. They're just getting the redraw. Yeah, my plan here was Solitude and Ephemerate, kill both of their creatures. They didn't have Vran, so Halfling was doing opponent at the moment. They binding my Solitude. Go for the Bowmasters and just ephemerate the Bowmasters, grow the Orc Army token. Then I play the land, hold the Ertai and the Subtlety for their turn. So they go for the play my Subtlety top, but opponent has really good play. They play the Beanstalk, getting the Fury from the top, and then again pitch casting the Fury, killing both my Subtlety and the Bowmaster, and also had a prismatic ending for my large Bowmaster token. So very good turn for the opponent. I end of turn I played, and now I pass the turn with the playing Leyline Binding, getting a trigger from the Slitherwisp. Slitherwisp is pretty much triggers it same as Beans, so it's pretty much just in this deck that draws you even more cards with the more cards you play from in your deck, because everything has flash. Bowmaster has flash. Other Slitherwisp has Flash, Errant and Giada, so all triggers it's like beans on steroids once you get this going. Okay, so that is the game. And yeah, pretty easy, man. One, let's check out the game. So this is my Omnat matchup again. I think they're really needed in this match. They were good like last game, obviously, but I don't think they're optimal here. So I just sided out dress down rates. Dress downs are also just not bad, but I feel like cards from the sideboard are even better, and I decided to get rid of these. So pretty good hand here. I have so much stuff. It's hard to decide what to do actually, because there are just so opponent goes for the ring here. I can't use my force on it. Leyline. I didn't want to. I as good as on their turn, letting them. Um, Another force on top of my deck. So now line, leaving the subtlety on top. I also went for the Scion, drawing a card, and yeah. They try to go for the Leyline Binding. I use my Force of Negation, and I now also have, I can play the Subtlety from the top. I can play the Scion. I play the Scion, get the Subtlety, reveal another one from the top. So I played the one from the top, and I still have the Subtlety in my hand. Force, Orcish Bowmasters. It's just disgusting. There's just so much stuff, and immediately concedes is pretty disgusting. Once you get this guy on the field, it can be pretty crazy if you can like follow this with a Beanstalk or a Slitherwisp. It's almost a game over in the most matchups. Of course, Slitherwisp is it's damage every time you do the ability. Okay, so was this a game 2? I think it was. Yeah. Match against Omnat, pretty easy win. We are not going to see a match troll. Respect on Dimir. Okay, so they started first with preordains. I go for the Marsh Flats, obviously getting a Triumph on turn 1. Go for another amazing after 2. I think they were find the third land. If I... Okay, so I just went for, of course, get the Triumph. I was not able to like cast anything this turn except for the effect. So I just other Triumph and pass the turn. Opponent, yeah, after 2 preordains, incredibly still didn't find that. Maybe they play a really low amount of lands. They went for the Mastermind. So in their attack phase, I go for the Errant and Giada. I had second one in hand, so I was fine with my opponent countering this one. On my turn, I play Giada and holding the Ephemerate to protect it. They play the Bitter Blossom, so I was able to just go for the Binding, cast the Scion from the top, and now hold Ephemerate plus Solitude, my Hexproof, and yeah, that's a hard situation for the opponent. Also, fetches like work really well with Giada. You can choose what will you leave on the top of your library. So, okay. have a Solitude on top end, as good as it gets. Protected Giada on the field, attacking Solitude on the top of my library. And yeah, so I decided to protect my Scion with Ephemerate and cast the Solitude from top. Ephemerate, and yeah, that was enough. Opponent concede. Okay, let's check out. Okay, so again, nothing special, but looking pretty nice. Okay, so I start off with the Savage Triumph here. Planning to go multiple options here now. Also, I can go for the Scion to protect my Slitherwisp on turn 3, give him a... But they are a counter spell deck, not removal. I try to go for Beanstalk. It's really hard for them to deal. Once you get it on the field, they can only bounce it with. Okay, because the passes the turn, and yeah, my hand is. I can go for on their turn, and well on my turn, getting the draws. Yeah, opponent goes for Sauron Ransom, and I cast my Slitherwisp in response to the Sauron Ransom. They put Fairy Mastermind and Secluded Glen to their hand. And in the Godless Shine, holding this way, I can cast Bowmasters, get 2 triggers from the Slitherwisp. I can also just hardcast the Subtlety or Ertai. So many options. The Fairy Mastermind here for getting 2 triggers from the Slitherwisp. They went Spellsetter Sprite. My one of my Bowmasters, but I play Subtlety, getting another Slitherwisp trigger. That is amazing. 3 triggers from the Slitherwisp this turn. I also have the beans on the field. It's next turn to get the bind. It is just too much stuff going on here. I have another Giada, Scion to protect them, and every draws it. Some cards draw, and I can just play second Slitherwisp and then cast Scion of Draco to draw 3, 1 from the Beanstalk. Sorry, Binding, 1 from the Beanstalk and 2 from the go for for Scion here first, and I attack damage, 7 damage, putting my opponent on 5 life, and just passing the. So I go for the Slitherwisp ability and the Beanstalk ability, paying 2 mana for the Fairy. Then letting them resolve the Fairy and go for the Solitude, again getting the 2 abilities, which is just insane, and still holding the Force of Negation for their turn, and that is the game and the match. Yeah, opponent concede. Let's check a trophy match, which I 0-2 of possible matchup in the world. Mono red, 2 basics in my style verse. Okay, so this is the worst possible matchup for the deck. There is no, I think no All domain strategies suffer in this matchup, but this one especially because it's not as fast as some other no territory, Ragavan, no aggressive creatures. So opponent goes for a Fable. Fortunately, I had two basics in my starting hand, which made the game for me much more difficult because now they can just kill my non-basics and make me don't get any land. And they also had the cleansing wildfire to even kill my basics. So I went for the Slitherwisp, but they also had they had Fury there to kill my Bowmaster and plus the Orcish, and they also had removal for my Slitherwisp, first Slitherwisp and also the second one. So they kind of just had everything, yeah. Pretty brutal hand from the opponent. There's just nothing I can do here. I still had Errant and Giada to try to get me out of this, but they had too much, too too little lands in my deck left to turn this around. Okay, I was on 10 life, manageable, but I go for the Slither, and yeah, they draw a card. I get the Giada. But I really needed like really to get back into the game, and opponent got the Fury plus copy from the Kikijiki, and I was I was almost like getting back into the game, and then they do this and then complete GG. Go check out game 2. I went through stuff, the land destruction, the infinite field of ruins, stabilize, and then they also have like Fury plus Fable, a copy Fury, and yeah. Okay, so I kept a lot of lands on in game 2. That is pretty decent strategy. Keep lands, so because you definitely know they're going to demolition field you, and I didn't have basics, just non-basics, which was pretty decent. And so I did draw some spells I needed here. I had the Scion, I had the Bowmasters, I had the threat of Fable, but still I wasn't able to pressure my opponent in any way. Uh, just ephemerate in my hand. At this point, what I needed was like a lot of solitudes from the top of my deck. I did get one, so yeah, but I needed a lot more than that. So now I was able to attack with the Bowmasters, hold the solitude. Yeah, but as you could see in my previous video, questing cards in these grindy matchups, and the questing druid also did a very good job in this deck for my opponent. A lot of spells, they quickly grow this druid guy, and it's decent. Okay, so then on their turn they still have like 3 cards in their hand plus Fable and the druid growing, and at this point turn after I concede, and that's it. Okay, so that was the entire league. I was match against my worst possible matchup, worst imaginable matchup. As I said, the league we watched had some just few different inclusions, like 4 ephemerate instead of 2 split 2-2 with March. Had like a slightly different mana base. I think this one is more ideal with 4 flats, 4 delta, and the Spara headquarters. Okay, so I liked Force more than I liked the Spell Pierce, so I went to 4 Force of Negations, and that is it. So I think the deck performed brilliantly in those mid-range matchups like Scam matchup, 4-color Omnat, the Fairies. The deck just did incredible job over there, even against the Black Coffers. The gameplay was amazing. The Errant interaction and the Ertai interaction with the Bowmasters and the Scion interaction giving hexproof to Slitherwisp and Errant and Giada was just so impactful. I really, really liked it, and the card roll is incredible once you start Slitherwisp going, or the Beanstalk, or the Giada. So much engines in this deck that can single-handedly just fire off entire deck and make it like just instantly win. And yeah, that is it. So I am now tweaked a list a bit and doing another try to get a trophy. I feel like this is list that definitely has great potential and can get a trophy very easily. So I'll give it a few more tries, and I hope you like the gameplay. Hope you like the deck. Again, thank you for watching, and I did like super hyped about this deck. I played this in the past. I was always excited about it, but now the Beanstalk and the Scion just powering up the deck amazingly. I really, really am super hyped about this, and I think like this has potential to be a really, really powerful strategy at the moment. Okay, so that is it. I'll probably do another video of this deck once I do more tweaks and hopefully get that trophy. And yeah, again, thanks for watching and goodbye. Just a friendly reminder toward the end to click like, click subscribe, comment in the video. Interesting to see your results in person magic, in paper magic, and to see how you went, how you did with this. And that's all for today. Goodbye.